Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back. This is InugamiTheHound. I'm doing a. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is InugamiTheHound. I'm doing a. There you go. We got to mute myself, but nonetheless, I'm here doing some furry action stream, doing some meme stuff. Here to have some fun. All that. All right, then. Let's see. Oh, someone's playing Warriors of the Abyss. I should play that. I have that on my I have that on my Xbox. I should play that. Let's see. Answering your questions. Very Q&A. All right, that's true.
Hi.
I've seen some of his videos. I think he did the never had an ice coffee video, and then I think he also did just recently the tiered water and tiered cereal.
Ugh. Ugh. I don't know why I decided to film this video when I'm like really hungry. I'm really freaking hungry right now. Like, and I just worked out, like, and then showered. I'm a mess today. Uh, and it's also like really cold in my room, and like I'm just wearing a t-shirt. Let me put a hoodie on.
That
I need to
Rockstar
put a hoodie
recovery,
on.
man.
That is much better. I like hoodies. Okay, y'all.
Drinking some
Today,
Pepsi,
we're gonna be
man.
doing a Q&A. You guys have so many questions, so I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to make a Q&A. So people in the comments told me I need to make a Q&A as well, so that's what we're doing
This guy's
today.
already at
I got all the questions from last
4.34K
video, and I
subscribers.
kind of cut them
Already
up
pretty good.
inside a bowl. They're all tiny little cut up comments in a bowl, so I'm gonna read them off at random. So
That's pretty
let's
cool.
do this. Oh my gosh. Dying. Okay. So there hasn't been one question that's been asked so much, probably like 20 times, and everyone's asking who my suit maker is. And that is Cascade Fursuits. Yeah, I commissioned the suit November of 2023 and I received it in about June of 2024. So last year. Yeah, I really like it. It's very cute. And as for every suit maker, make sure you do your research, make sure you look at their queue size and everything. There's your answer. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Oh, these are so tiny. Madoki asks, what is your career or job outside of the fandom? That's a good question. I worked in the audio field for quite a while now. I don't know if you guys have seen those sound people that sit in the very back of the performances of live concerts and stuff. They have the huge soundboard. They have all the knobs and all the sliders and buttons and everything. I'm one of those people. I also
Oh,
set up
interesting.
live like speakers, like the huge line arrays. I wire all of them, get all the microphones working. I do
That's
sound
pretty
check.
cool. I
That's
guess
pretty
like
much what I've been doing
they,
for the past while now. Right now, I'm kind of in between jobs. Kind of want to switch it up a little bit. I'm hoping to get into videography and photography. I really like that field. Hopefully, I can get into it. It's very competitive. Okay. Draco the Soundbite asks, how long does it take to make a video? It's a good question. It takes me, filming a video, my videos end up being like 45 to an hour and a half long-ish of just raw video. It takes me around 3 to 4 days to edit. It's quite a bit of work for my editing style. You have to clip and cut. I stutter with a lot of words. I repeat myself quite a bit so I can get the good shot. So I have to edit quite a bit. I usually film on Mondays or Tuesdays, and it's Tuesday for me, and I usually get the video out by Thursday through Saturday. So it does take quite a bit of work for my editing style. So yeah, just around that much day. That's mostly my free time I'm editing. Okay, next question. Dog with Wi-Fi asks, I love your videos. For the Q&A, what is your favorite games, movies, and songs? Either all at the moment or of all time. Let's see, let's start with my favorite game. I guess my most played game has been Apex Legends. I streamed that game for almost 4 years. I kind of just stopped. The game was kind of not going in a good direction. Probably of all time, that was probably my favorite game. I like competitive sort of aspect of FPS games. I do like FPS games. But my favorite game though, game I've played, not FPS, is Pacific Drive. That game was so good. I loved it. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Oh, it has a special place in my heart. I love Pacific Drive. It's a lot of fun. Movies. Ooh, movies. I loved Interstellar quite a bit. I thought that movie was really good. It's hard for me to pick a favorite movie because I love cinematography. That's something I'm passionate about. I love.
yeah, it's really hard for me to pick like I think it's a little easier for me to pick a favorite game and maybe movies and songs are hard because like there's a lot I like, but I need to sit down and actually look at them. It's just like with anime sometimes. I need to sit down. Speaking of anime, I need to freaking watch, Free Ren and Solo Leveling. It's been over a week and I don't want to watch any of that shit.
I wouldn't do
Yeah.
it personally, but I love just viewing it and how incredible films look. I don't know if I could pick a favorite, honestly. I have so many. But yeah, I'd say Interstellar's pretty good. In songs, my top artists is Keshi, Conan Gray, and Bryant Barnes. All of them, I love them. I love all their music. Yeah, I like them a lot. They've been releasing new music lately, and I'm in love with them. Okay, next question. Luke asks, I love your stuff and fursuit. What is your furry awakening? Now, this is an interesting question for me. So, I would say my furry awakening. When I was really young, the movie Rio came out. It's the one with the birds, and they're not really anthropomorphic, but they were talking. I would say that's my furry awakening. I was very young, and I'm like, whoa, this is kind of cool. I see.
Rio. When did that movie come out? Rio. It's like I think it's like by DreamWorks, right? Rio the movie. Wait, 2001. 2011. That's not that old. Okay, it's more than 10 years old. Shit. God damn, he must have been really young. He must have been like 6 or 7. Now he's like what, 17? Maybe going into 18. I don't know, man. The hell. Yeah, that's making me feel old. Alright.
See the appeal. I liked Blue from that movie. I guess that was my furry awakening. That's kind of what woke me up into talking animals in a way. That is my furry awakening. It's not a very common one. A lot of people don't mention that movie in this community. That is it. Next question. Oh, I just lost it. Here it is. Okay, Winter the Fox asks, why are you so cute? I am not cute. Don't call me that. I'm not cute. No. You guys are cute, okay? You guys are cute, not me. No. Okay, next question. Folded Fur asks, I know I've asked this before, but what's your best advice you have ever heard? Oh man. I did find some good advice lately that I really love. Let me pull it up. One amazing quote I've heard says, never say yes with your lips if in your heart you are saying no. I really like that because I've struggled with saying no, like really bad. I grew up in an environment where like I always had to say yes to either my parents or to everything my parents told me. I couldn't say no, or I would feel abandoned or neglected. So like growing up for so long, I had to feel like I had to say yes to everything, and that carried on through literally recently. And now I'm
Yeah, that's how I am. I was saying yes to my parents. I mean, rarely do I say no to my parents unless it's like something dumb or stupid, like, oh, do you want do you want to come with us? And maybe. I mean, I help out with groceries and stuff like that, but like sometimes I can say no to that. But throughout my entire life, get dragged here, get dragged there, and all that. Yeah. And sometimes I do say yes to allow things, especially when it comes like getting extra work. Yeah, man.
kind of realizing, like, I need to say no more. I can't just keep saying yes. I can't keep pleasing people. Saying no can also set very healthy boundaries, and it can strengthen friendships. If you don't learn to say no, you could lose a lot of friends, and that's something that's very important. So saying no is pretty much the most important thing you can do. Any situation in friendship, something you're uncomfortable with or something, you can't make the other person happy. You can't always do that. Say no, people. If your heart's telling you no, say no. It's gonna be so much easier in the future. Just say no if your heart is telling you that. Next question. Sam the Axolotl asks, how fruity are you? Yes. Okay. Okay. Electric Umbrella asks, who is your favorite furry YouTuber or content creator? Also love your fursuit and it's so cute. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I guess in late high school when I graduated, I watched Fluke a lot. Fluke Husky. I watched like all of his videos he would upload. And then I discovered Twitch where I was just watching Twitch for Apex. Like I wasn't even interested. Like I wanted to stream Apex as an IRL creator, like not in this community. But then I stumbled across VODs I. You guys have probably heard of them. He used to stream Apex, and that kind of, I would say both Fluke and Doryu are the reason why I am here today. Like the reason why I am here making this video in front of you guys. I would not be doing any of this. I wouldn't be streaming for 4 years now if it wasn't for those two. That's why I'm here. Danny Elf asks, do you have any favorite video games do you like to play? Yeah, kind of just the same thing like Apex and Pacific Drive. So yeah, Forrest Fox asks, how do you hide your full suit? Especially when you make videos, do they just walk in sometimes? So I actually ran into a problem with my parents with this. I had to install a door lock with a lock. They kept barging in. They had like the standard house locks where you can literally just use your fingernail and just twist it open and walk in. Then like I was setting boundaries. I'm like, no, you can't come in. I'm installing a door lock. If it's locked, you cannot come in. I keep it locked most time I'm in my room. So I like they've been respecting my privacy a little bit more, but I still feel like I'm being kind of listened to, which is kind of unfortunate when I stream. But yeah, let me grab that box. Okay, I hide it in this big old box. It's like for travel. It has wheels on it. Very big. It fits the whole thing in it. This is what I hide it in, and it has like locking things on the side. You can put locks on it. Yep, that's how I hide it. And it looks like a regular storage bin, so they don't really think too much of it. So yeah, yep, I hide it in that thing. Noah Smith asks, hi Alpine S video, what are your favorite hobbies and what is your favorite video games to play? Oh my goodness, so many video game questions. I guess I already answered that, but my favorite hobbies are photography. I love the heck out of it. Pretty much streaming on Twitch, that's one of my hobbies. Yeah, content creation, definitely a hobby as well. Like I love doing it. I do it because I enjoy it. I've been doing it for 4 years. So yeah, just mainly photography, content creation, all that stuff. So yeah, the artsy doggo asks, if you were to make an entirely new Sona, what other species would suits you best, and what alternate color palette would you choose? I love your videos and I love your energy. Hi YouTube. Okay, thank you Artsy. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys have been enjoying my content though. It means a lot. It really does. Thank you. But a new Sona, lately I've been really liking Kali Sonas, so I would probably pick a Kali. I think that's probably my top pick right now. And then color palette, I would kind of want to go for a similar sort of vibe, but maybe darker, like a dark sort of like color palette version, but Kali. So that'd be really cool. I that would be my alternate universe of a Sona I would pick. But how I kind of chose my color palettes for my Sona. It all started with this jacket right here. This is the reason why my colors are this way. You got the blue hoodie. It's like literally almost the same color as my hair. And sort of the other colors. My first Sona was like orange and this color with the blue. And then I kind of evolved to more of a neutral color palette with everything else.
Yeah. Let's see. I do have an alternative persona. It's more like a hybrid of a boar and a deer together. I could use him more, or if I was gonna reborn my character, maybe I could do like a cool, maybe Eastern dragon. That'd be interesting. Sorry, I was being kind of quiet. I was going through my Gmail and I deleted a bunch of stuff.
Because I didn't.
But I also got invited for like a job interview, so I'd have to do that sometime. Well, today or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. Probably just do it in the morning. Doesn't seem that hard.
Didn't love the crazy vibrant colors. So yeah, this jacket was the reason why you guys see me today too. This is my favorite jacket for years. The average commenter asks, why did you decide to do fursuiting? So I decided to fursuit because I wanted to go out to cons. I was streaming on Twitch for like 2.5 years, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why am I not meeting my friends out in cons? Like, I'm missing out right now. So I just decided like I'm gonna start saving up for a suit, and I want to go out to cons and I want to make content in this thing. So I bought my suit. It was like $2,800. It was not bad. And then yeah, I started going to cons. I'm going to some this year. If you guys want to see me at any cons, I'm probably going to Megaplex and Denver, and probably one after that in that sort of area. Maybe a July con. I think there's some in July. Yes, I am gonna go. Static Bits asks, how'd you get into the fandom and how long have you been in it? Love your suit. Thank you, thank you. I guess how I like technically got into it, I liked drawing animals and stuff. I was on Pinterest scrolling. I particularly wanted to draw a wolf, and then I saw anthro like furry wolf art show up, and I'm like, oh shoot, this is kind of nice. Like, I like this. That's kind of how I started coming to the fandom. But how long have I been a furry? Yeah, probably like around 2020. I would say when I really started getting into it, maybe 2019 as well. Well, it's 6 years. So yeah, that's how long I've been in it. I don't regret it. Obviously, I don't regret it. It's been great. Oh my gosh, this is so tiny. Annie the cat asks, W video, what inspired you to start doing YouTube, and what keeps you motivated? Ooh, what inspired me to start YouTube, and what keeps me motivated? Okay, I started YouTube because I kind of wanted to make long form furry content. I don't know. I just really wanted to make it. I watched it when I was young, and I feel like
Yeah, I wish I knew how to do how to do YouTube. Like, I mean, I'm uploading stuff to YouTube, but uh it's all like, Twitch VODs and Twitch clips really, because that's all I can really do. So I just think of, because I am not very creative. I mean, I've uploaded some videos to like Instagram, TikTok, uh, Twitter, and all that. Threads as well. Yeah, things like that. But like I've never like sat down like, all right, let me do something like what this person's doing. Sit down in front of a camera. It's usually just me with a phone and just saying some random shit, and that's it.
the community needs it. That's why I'm here today, and I'm making it for you guys. And what keeps me motivated? Making people happy. I like making people happy. It's like the most motivating thing ever for me. I like creating a safe space and for everyone to enjoy. Yeah, just making people happy. That's my biggest motivator. Your pal Mystery asks, I love your suit. It's so cute. For the communicate for for the Q&A, can boop your snoot please? Of course, you can boop my snoot. Let me get close. Let me get close. Yes, you can boop my snoot. It's right here. It's right here. Go boop it. Boop. Okay, next, Adam asks, what are your plans for this channel? So, my plans for this channel, I'm not stopping anytime soon. I'm just gonna keep uploading every single week. Basically, I guess as time goes on, the content will probably get better. Obviously, I'm working on moving out, hopefully, and the content will kind of just get so much better from then. That's basically the plans for the channel. I guess growing my community and kind of, inviting, more people in and, you know, that's kind of my plans for this channel. Also, Benny asks, would you do collab with other content creators in the future? Of course. Yes. Hi, Benny. Hello. I do watch you on Twitch. I'm just like, I just don't chat that much. I'm like the biggest non-chatter on Twitch. So, hi, Benny. I like.
Yeah, I'm me. That's with me. I'm. Oh. Yeah, this is a mobile problem. Interesting. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I'm back.
Like your streams. Yeah, I would do collabs. That'd be cool for like YouTube and stuff. The tall guy asks, what cooling methods do you prefer for your suits? So I have an ice vest. So let me grab it. Here's my ice vest. It has a bunch of ice packs in it, and I just wear it. It goes on my back. Yeah, it just has a bunch of ice packs in it. You just cool it in like a hotel. You just get like a bag of ice and set it inside of a bag of ice for it to harden and get cold. So yeah, that's how you do it. I think that's the best one. And then a couple other things I used to keep cool. I have a balaclava on underneath to keep sweat from like getting into my suit. And also, yeah, I wear these underneath. I know what the community says to wear polyester kind, like the stretchy polyester kind, but I find that traps the heat in even more because polyester is a type of plastic that plastic isn't like that breathable, right? Cotton's very breathable, and I always go with cotton when it comes to like underneath the suit. So yeah, that's what I do for these. So yeah, yep, that keeps me got cooler. I've noticed with these. So yeah, and the polyester ones make you stink more. They make you smell worse. That's what I've noticed. So I like smelling clean. I like smelling fresh, so as much as possible. Also, Rebus asks, when you say you have strict parents, do you mean that you have from Mormon family since you know Utah? Also, sweet card. Oh, thank you. So, yes, you have guessed it. I was raised Mormon, LDS, or whatever you want to call it. I was raised in that. I'm not in it anymore, obviously. I'm not in it anymore. I moved away from that area. I moved that sort of area of my life after I turned 18. So yeah, I'm no longer in it. But what most I like about my car? I like my car like most just because it's so calm on the inside. It's so quiet. It drives really smoothly. You know, it can go fast if you want it to. The sound system's really great.
I did not know this guy was from Utah. I did not know that at all. Interesting. I didn't know there was that big of a furry community in Utah.
I'm an audiophile, so I like hearing nice quality sound and everything. So honestly, it's just such a relaxing car. I can throw music on and cruise, and it's just like heaven, you know. FNHFHF asks, does your family know about your suit? If they don't, how do you manage to sneak it past them? They do. What is their initial reaction? So my mom has seen it. She actually helped me repair part of it, but she's the only one I'm gonna tell in my family. I told her not to look me up, not to just leave it separate, but I usually film when I'm home alone. I only get like an hour to film usually, and that's pretty much it. So that's kind of how I sneak it past, and I don't think my family really likes this, so yeah, I just keep it secret as possible. Also, Clover asks, what is your favorite aspect of the furry fandom? Also, what is your favorite con you've been to, if any? Favorite aspect is basically just no one gives a crap what you do. That's like my most favorite aspect. I mean, there's always limits, right? There's limits. The community's so supportive. It's very, you know, open. It's very nice, and I love that aspect of it. I don't feel uncomfortable. You know, I feel like I can be myself. So that's my favorite aspect of the community. So yeah. Draco asks, anything else you plan to get for your studio? The audio quality and the lighting already makes this video warm and inviting. Oh, thank you. Any plans to get new stuff? Like a future thing is, I really want to get some tower speakers just because I'm an audiophile. I love listening to music, and a VR headset. I haven't been able to get those. Probably in the future when I have like a lot of extra cash to throw at those. That's probably like the new things I want to get. I want to get some new lighting and stuff. We're down to only a couple more questions. Shoot. Also, I'm Kovacs. Hello. Q&A thingy. If you were to make a soda from any brand, what flavor would it be? I would love to make a Coke flavor. That'd be pretty sick. Like if Coke can hit me up and we can make like a Alpine blend or something really cool like that, that'd be really sick. Cause I love my Coke. It's so good. I love it. Or I would do like a fruity flavor one. Also, Michael Lang asks, "You're honestly one of my new favorite furry creators. Q&A question: What made you become a furry?" Also, thank you, Michael. I really appreciate it. that means a lot. I guess what made me a furry, like I talked about before, kind of being on Pinterest, looking for art inspiration. Rio, that movie, Zootopia, kind of just a bunch of plethoras that kind of jumbled into one thing. So yeah, yep. Oh my god.
Me, oh man. Well, I'm a furry. I've been a furry for a long time. I just didn't know what it was. Going all the way back to my childhood, watching Looney Tunes and The Lion King and a bunch of stuff like that. Disney stuff, and then getting into Pokemon, Digimon, and then just seeing a bunch of art. I remember seeing a lot of different types of like furry art, and I think the art I really started to connect with was like the anime style. So loved it so much. I thought it was really cool.
Gosh, we have the last question. Hyper Geo asks, "I'm curious about why you started the channel and where you want to go with it. What is your opinion on frozen yogurt?" Thank you for that question. Thank you. Why I started this channel, I kind of answered it before, but basically just wanted to make long form furry content in this community just because not a lot of people make it anymore. And I kind of wanted to join on in and make it myself. And frozen yogurt, freaking amazing. I love frozen yogurt. Even though it's literally just ice cream, it's not really yogurt. I love it. Give me a chocolate with like some other flavors. Oh, I will love you forever if you get me chocolate frozen yogurt.
Yeah, I like frozen yogurt. I mean, I like the ones where you can choose your own flavor. Like you get the cup and then you can pour as much, ice cream you want, and mixing up some of the flavors together is really good. Like mixing, like, if you want chocolate, vanilla, you want bombsticle, you want like passion fruit, you want like caramel, any of that, and then going over and putting some toppings on it and squeezing some chocolate syrup on it. It is definitely delicious and tooth rotting as well, but it's so fucking good. I love it.
That's all the questions I got, guys. That's all of them. The bowl's empty. That was what 32 questions in total. Thank you guys for all of your love and support again. I will never stop saying thank you for the outrage of love I've had lately. That also makes you motivated as well to make more videos for you guys. Thank you for watching this Q&A. Yeah, stay tuned for next week for another video, of course. I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Oh, I just hit my light. Ow. Okay. Bye. Goodbye. I'm not cute.
Let's see. I know who this person is. Let's look him up. Nope, I don't know who the. What the fuck? Alright, nope, don't know who that is. Yeah, I've seen most of his videos. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've seen 4 out of 6. The only one I didn't watch is I'm Bored and I'm Alpine MS. It. He has 6 videos. He has 4.33K, followers already, which is a lot. I mean, like, when you compare that to like a few other smaller content creators I might be following, like Game Wolf 6. Oh no, wait, fuck. Was it? This guy has like, how many videos does this guy have? He's got 6.33K videos, only 3.92 subscribers, and he's done a lot of furry stuff. He's also done a lot of video game stuff as well. Like King of like Hell, Hades 2, Vegan Pies. And he has not up. Has he uploaded anything new? God damn, I need to play through Fuga, Melody Seals. I was, and I got stuck, and I now went back, and I'm like, really regretting I didn't do that. Going back and play that game. Let's see, Drake Queen Gaming. Let's see where he's at. He's he's at 5.78k followers with 4.1k. So he's uploaded a lot as well, and he's only at 5k. Yeah. Let's see. Well, let's go back to 10 Wee Way. I think that's what it was called. So we were watching it earlier, and then I waited a couple episodes so we can get some more episodes. Let's see what tea time.
You're watching Drake Queen Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Queen Gaming. It's something on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Tien Wee Way. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm Chan, you were up, and let's go.
I think maybe one other person might be playing this game. I forgot who it was.
Hey, are you finished or not? Texas wanted a drink, not a lecture. Can you speed it up a little? Kung Fu Cha prides itself on the processes and skills behind it. Since you're so bored with nothing to do, try learning something from it. I turned and noticed Mosiah was sitting next to me, his attention on the file folders in his hand. I don't know why it's called Kung Fu Cha. It's not a ritual performing tea brewing and Kung Fu at the same time. Whoever named this ceremony should make it match its name. You like drinking tea too, Mosiah? So. How can he manage to shut down an entire topic with a single sentence? Hey, whatever you ask of him of his interests, he will always reply it's so-so, unless it's something he likes, then he might say it's good. Chen Hu sat there, speaking of Mosiah with sarcasm. Take a good look and record it down. Shouldn't these serve as a good reference for your writings? Seemingly uncaring of those sarcastic commentaries, Mosiah's reminder helped me in reminding me of my journey's purpose as well. Yeah, this is really good writing material. I should record it down for future writings. After pouring the tea leaves in the brewing bowl and closing the lid, Bayou shook it gently twice in his hand, then opened a slight crack again, before closing his eyes and smelling the fragrance within, leaving me confused. Using the warm cup's hot and wet oxygen to oxygenate the tea leaves, and the step of smelling the fragrance cannot be done by inhaling the air within the tea, but by smelling it. That's the goal of this step? Feels like Mosiah's mood improved after sitting down for the show. Is this step necessary? It's just tea smelling. What a bore. After mumbling a few words, the tiger laid his chin on the table and watched the resignation at Bayou's brewing. After finally putting down the covered tea bowl, Bayou picked up the public cup, full of hot water, and spun it, After a cycle of swirling, he began pouring the contents into each of the smaller cups on the table. During this process, you cannot raise your pinky while pouring, and the move must be done perfectly and without mistakes. Females can be excused because it's a sign of grace, but for males, pinky raising is a sign of tenderness that doesn't reflect well for the ritual. There's so much to ask for already.
This is like extremely elaborate, tea ceremony. I think this might be more elaborate than like Japanese tea ceremony.
And with every small teacup, Bayou repeats the spinning move from earlier, and finally pours all the hot water from the small cups into the container next to it. Who cares about those? Quick, give me the water already! On this, I have to agree with Chin Hu. Who knows how long before this series of procedures ends? I feel so impatient watching this. But just then, Mosea's enmity and guard felt a little loose. Seems like he's one who enjoys a good tea show. Don't rush, the tea is almost done. Finally opening the tea bowl, he picked up the kettle and poured the hot water into the cup filled with tea leaves. Smoothing the tea, or waking the tea, is a step that is decided by the variants of the tea. Green tea variants like white fur or silver needles do not need too much water, as these tea leaves are tender and not suited to be soaked in water for long periods. Oh, yeah, you said this was green tea, right? Just look at the color. It's green. It must be green tea. Oh, I get it now. The means of categorizing the tea variants is through the color of the tea leaves, right? Not only through the color. Don't you dare mislead him. Teas are categorized based on various elements, the process in making tea leaf types, and their levels of fermentation. These elements ultimately divide the tea variants into 6 main groups: green, white, yellow, oolong, red, and black. Is there so many different types? I turned and saw the one who spoke was Kurlno, who just finished his work. He walked to us with a relaxed expression on his face, as he pulled a stool over and sat down, though his appearance here did surprise me. I thought you went back to your room. Aw, you missed me after not seeing my mug even just for a while. Definitely not! Didn't you have something going on? How did you finish it that quickly? Oh, you mean that? That was just me heading off to prepare the bathhouse's nourishing medicine mixtures for the bath tonight. There was also the serum analysis Bayou asked me to do. That one did take me some time to finish. Oh. And now the tea leaves color is a light verdant green, a unique tea color, a unique tea water color only seen in green teas. The more fermented tea leaves are the darker and the color they can produce. And with Mosea's sudden commentary pulled me out of my and Kurlno's bickering and got me refocused on the tea in front of me. I've heard that green tea causes bad reaction with current species from Moro. I suggest you not to drink it. Why not come and try some of my newly made medicine instead? I looked at his odd expression and knew what intention lied behind his weird look. The same trick won't work on me the second time. I saw through your trickery. You're lying to me, aren't you? Eh? I didn't get tricked here. I see. Not bad, not bad. You're getting smart after a few rounds. It seems you are impressionable after all. In a moment, Bayou poured out the finely made tea from the tea bowl into the public cups. As I looked closely, the tea water is lightly green, with a fresh fragrance emerging with wafts of delightful vapors. With a final flourish, he gracefully poured the tea into each of the smaller cups. Another point to mention when dividing the tea, the bottom of the cup shouldn't be pointing at the guests. Oh. Man, with all these rules and procedures, if it were up to me, this small jar ain't even enough to fill my stomach. It'll probably fill the gap in my teeth at best. Liquids can't fill your stomach, okay? Seeing as how impatient you are, why don't you perform a tea brewing ceremony for us then, Chen Hu? Ha! That's easy. I would finish the brew as soon as it's in the bowl. Who cares so much? Alright, y'all, give me a second. It is, in fact, water time. Alrighty, y'all, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? Okay. A close bowl tea, I see.
I wonder if this entire episode is just gonna be this tea brewing episode. Is all it? Maybe, or most of it.
All different regions have different habits of tea drinking. Today's performance is Kung Fu Cha and not that. After finishing his series of complicated movements, he bowed to us again, unbothered by the chitter-chatter between Chen Hu and Kurlno. Please enjoy, and try to taste for yourselves. Alright, thanks. As soon as I reached out for a small cup of tea, Mosea warned me with his authoritarian voice as I trembled in my seat. Remember, when tasting tea, the left hand holds the cup and the right hand secures the cup in the palm. Do not mix it up. Alright, I'll remember it. My god, look at the time. Can you two stop being so fussy about the details here? While he complained about the annoyance of the customs, he still held his cup with his left while his right secures the base. Looks like he took to Mosea's words well in heart. I couldn't make a voice. As if I spoke a single wrong word, I would be judged by that blue dragon's piercing gaze. So I sat obediently on the stool, looking at everyone's actions and trying to remember the process myself. Next, Bayou took a cup from the table and lowered his head. He took a sip, closing his eyes before smiling. Not bad. Perfect temperature, the fragrance is undoubtedly a unique smell from freshly brewed green tea. I followed up as how Mosiah instructed and imitated Bayou's actions, taking a sip. Not bad, but there were minor errors during the process, so I can't say it is perfectly done, with every rule followed. Not as bitter as I thought it would be. A little different from the red tea I've tried. Red tea's heavy flavor comes from the longer time of fermentation. The longer they are fermented, the stronger their taste. But bamboo green is a lightly fermented tea with a light fragrance, while white tea has some fresh fragrance. Each type of tea has its own taste. Tex, I just mentioned the 6 main types a while ago. Do you know how to recognize the different types of tea yet? If you answer right, there's a special reward for you. No idea. Even if I do know, I don't want your reward. Who knows what kind of nasty concoction you prepared for me? Oh, I know the answer to this one. Try saying your answer then. Didn't you just mention it? It's the color of the tea water. Green tea produces green, right? Then red tea produces red. Yellow tea produces yellow. Black tea produces black. White tea produces white. And turtle tea produces turtle color.
What?
Are you certain that the last one is the correct name? That one is called oolong tea, actually. Now, while looking at the resulting tea color as one of the means to distinguish the tea type, your answer isn't fully correct. Indeed, white, green, and yellow tea all begin with a light yellow palette. From red tea onwards, oolong black tea produces a color of red and turns scarlet red. Otherwise, the means to distinguish tea types can be found in fragrance smelling and tea tasting. I give up. I can't keep up with you guys and your graceful customs. Sally's lemonade's waiting for me. Tex, if you're thirsty, drink mine too. As Chen Hu tried to pour his cup of tea into mine, his actions were stopped by a glare from a blue dragon present at the table. Chen Hu, I don't mind it here. Such action is very disrespectful. Make sure to not do it outside in public. Stop nagging me about it. Are you my nanny or what? Found it. Found what? Information logbook. Wait. Mosiah passed me a booklet and took a sip from the tea made by Bayou. I looked confused at the dragon, as I didn't know what to write in the logbook. What are you staring at me for? You're not trying to say you don't know how to write, are you? This is... Write down your personal information. Oh! Well, who was the one who just said I wouldn't let Tex join us? And now who's the one that pulled out the logbook? You have a way of beating around the bush when you had such a sour face back then. An internship, not an official member. Fine. Here's a pen. As if he knew I didn't know how to use a writing brush, he passed me a pen and a bottle of ink. These small gestures, while they seem terrifying on the surface, he has quite a considerate and tender side. Then, to show respect, I shall follow his instructions. I took the pen and ink, dipped the pen into the ink, and began filling out the form. With Colonel's treatment of the wound, my left arm's wound no longer bothers me. Just like Shin Hu said, his medical skills are truly reassuring. Lemonade is ready! Just then, with the sounds of ice clinking in the cup, Sally carried cups of lemonade over on a serving plate and began passing each of us a cup before passing a jar of honey over as well. I don't know your taste preference, only added a little bit of honey in. If you feel like it's still a little sour, I brought the honey as well so you can add more. Sorry to bother you so much here. If you feel the tea is a little bitter, try the lemonade for a change of taste. Alright. Lemonade is my favorite drink from my youth, and out of Bayou's suggestion, I took a cup as well.
Lemonade, my favorite drink from my mouth. Oh man. Because that can be taken out of context. Oh, lemonade in my mouth. Oh man. Sounds like a fucking water sports.
And from my first gulp, my teeth chattered, my face twitched a little as the sourness turned a little uncomfortable. Just as I went to grab the jar of honey awkwardly, I noticed that honey jar disappeared from the table. Where's the honey pot? Huh. Chen Hu, stop eating so much sweet stuff. Wait, Chen Hu, what are you doing? Chen Hu held the jar and began scooping out a large spoonful of honey and poured it into the cup. Which begs the question, what's with this cup? Why is this cup so much larger? Is it okay to put that much honey in the lemonade? Want to be too sweet or what? Shouldn't this much count as a lethal dose of honey already? And so much lemonade, can he finish it? Does he even need this much, even when he didn't drink any tea? Eh? What are you saying? I just added a little. You call this a little? Huh, I think I'm finished here. Relax, there's enough left for you here. With an apologetic look, he passed the jar over, as if he knew he did go overboard with the honey. Awkwardness is carved all over his face. Only for me to look into the nearly empty jar. There's only a small portion of honey left at the bottom. Chin-Ho, you... Ah, I used quite a bit of honey beforehand for my medicinal pills. I forgot to tell you guys. See, I already said so. I can't eat that much of myself anyway. There's only a little bit left in there since the start. Looks like honey is on the to-buy list of groceries at the marketplace tomorrow. I'm not blaming you or anything. Anyway, thanks. Having said that, having a little honey is better than sourness right now. Thinking of this, I took a little bit of honey over. Oh right, this honey is quite light flavored. If you prefer a sweeter flavor, just pour it all in. No need for that much, I just need to balance the sour taste a little here. By the way, Tex, do you like sweet food? I love it. Alright, y'all. I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. I'm going to give a special thanks to all of our lovely patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!
Alright, then let's see. What other furry stuff can I watch?
You need health insurance. Insurance that provides reassurance that your insurance will insure you. Because what's the point of insurance if you're unsure that you have their assurance that in certain occurrences you'll still be insured? I'm sorry, so you're selling insurance for my insurance? But of course, the most prudent of Americans should want to get health insurance. Because you never know when your health insurance will wrongfully deny your claim, that your health insurance wrongfully denied your claim, that you need health insurance.
Oh man. Alright, let's see. Let's see, Dead Space 2 is a fantastic sequel.
Time to learn about Dead Space 2. From the comments under our Dead Space 1 reaction, it seems that Dead Space 2 is actually pretty good. I can't say that the reception for Dead Space 3 though is on the same level. I guess we'll talk about it when we get there. But as per usual, before we get into the reaction, please, it's a far-fetched guess to assume that we're still in space somewhere.
Halloween is almost upon us now, so it's a perfect time to look at Dead Space 2. There have been a few, recent developments with this game, so I'll cover those too a bit. Dead Space 2 was a change of direction for the series, and it started with the marketing. If you saw my Dead Space 1 video, you'll know that I was kind of entranced by the trailer. It was slow and quiet, but then there'd be distorted violence. It has a clear intention of building up intrigue, so let's compare that to the Dead Space 2 trailer.
Oh my god!
I remember this.
I think it'll make a person become
I remember the stupid ass ads.
I'm insane.
What is this from?
Is an atrocity.
Oh my god, are those actual reactions?
Yes.
Was this back during the time where people were like, oh, video games are causing violence and all that?
They still do
Well,
that, man.
I guess to be perfectly honest with you, that still sort of happens today, but I do
Yeah.
recall back then that it was sort of mainline media news stories just happening here and there. Video games being blamed for a lot of acts of violence when I think the real answer is that there are some people who are just kind of crazy.
It's revolting. It's violent. It's everything you love in a game. And your mom's gonna hate it.
My mom? What?
Why would they even make something?
Wait. Are you telling me that this was the actual advertisement?
Yes.
I thought Mandalore edited in some funny reactions in order to,
No.
like, lead up to the advertisement.
Nah, this is
What
2011,
the
bro.
heck? What was the marketing team doing on this one? Although, I guess Dead Space 2 was also pretty successful, so the commercial worked? Maybe?
Something like this.
Dead Space 2.
Your
Rated
mom
M for
hates
mature.
this dot
So they're
com?
marketing
What
it
the
to
f-
kids?
Oh my god.
Okay, I think I get the idea. In contrast to the first game, which was sold as a horror title, 2 is being sold as an action game. I've seen the progression of Dead Space games compared to Alien, and I think that's somewhat right. I'll touch more on that later, because I'm going to start off with the premise. After a
Wait. Compared to Alien, Alien 1 was really good. The second Alien did switch over to action more so than horror. And that was also pretty good. Everything after that, though, oh god. Although, if you guys haven't seen Alien Romulus, I think it was, like the newest Alien one, that one was actually pretty darn good. As for the Prometheus line of movies, I'm still pretty mixed on that.
escaping the quadriplegic fiesta that was the Ishimura, Isaac's been picked up by the government. He's feeling guilty about the
The
death of his
Ishimura,
girlfriend
yeah.
Nicole. As the intro shows, he was the one who encouraged her to go on the ship in the first place. You're then awoken by a brand new character. Well, he's brand new to most people. He's the main character of Dead Space Ignition, which was an interactive comic made before Dead Space 2 came out. So we have protagonists from 2
Oh.
games here. That's kind of interesting. I wonder how they'll get along with each other.
Yeah,
God.
they're mine.
I mean, I've seen this fucking intro so many times. I tried to beat this fucking game on hardcore difficulty. I never did.
What the hell? Where did we wake up in?
Oh my god, is he okay? There's a new necromorph outbreak. You have to escape it while still being strapped up in a straitjacket. You're
Wait, really? What the heck? How did they get here? I'm assuming that if we had woken up, then we would have been in a safe place,
No.
but did somebody bring a marker here? Why?
Yes.
You're on a space station known as the Sprawl. It's been built into the remains of Saturn's moon Titan. And unlike the first game, which was the aftermath of an outbreak,
Sprawl.
you're seeing it happen live this time. Your goals are pretty simple. Get off the station and find out what happened. If you haven't played the first game, the intro does a lot to recap you. There's also a handy video in the main menu that'll bring you up to speed. That's a good way to start a sequel. They could have had your
Gotcha.
rescuer not know what's going on and tag along a little. Isaac, what's a necromorph? Isaac, what's a marker? Where'd you come from, Isaac? They knew not to do that. While it's obviously better to have played the first game, it's totally viable to go into this as a new player.
I wonder if necromorphs are something that the government is attempting to keep hush-hush. I would assume that's the likely scenario with things like this. Like, oh no, the zombie outbreak happened. Don't worry, guys. Nothing is going to go wrong. We've got this under control for sure. And now look what happened. 28 years later. If you guys haven't seen them before and you enjoy zombie movies, I would recommend 28 Days Later as well as 28 Weeks Later. I think 28 Years Later recently got like a trailer or something.
That might sound minor, but a lot of sequels can suffer with extremes. Like on one end it'll treat you like you just played the last game minutes ago and it's all fresh in your head, but on the other end they think you're brand new and don't know anything. It can be a
Yeah.
bit annoying at times, but overall it's a great balance.
Isaac, it's Dana. You have to dismember the creatures to stop them.
I know. I've had a lot of practice.
So new or returning, you'll probably be comfortable. With that out of the way, there have been a lot of changes since Dead Space 1. So let's start with the
Cool beans.
visuals. On a technical level, just about everything is a step up. The lighting, effects, and textures have never looked better. It's mostly free of the technical issues Dead Space 1 had, but the in-game VSync can mess with your aiming a little bit, so you might as well just force it.
Yeah, I don't know why the PC ports for some of these games suck ass. Oh man, that's something I don't get. I play it on Xbox, so I know how to have this kind of problem.
Outside the game. It's clear a lot of effort went into improving the visuals, and there are only so many ways I can say that it just looks better, so not having a lot to say is a good thing here. On the other hand, the art style has gone through some significant changes. This is a high-tech space station. We're not on some dying industrial ship anymore, so most of the game has a much sleeker look to it. The engineering suit is probably the best example of this. In the first game, it's like this bulky space welder outfit. It looked clunky and heavy, but it
Actually, though.
The Iron Man movies were making a ton of money during this game's development, so they may have taken some inspiration. It just feels like something.
There you go. Just factors of the time of development playing a major role in the game's direction. I will say though, I
mean, like, I know this game. I know Dragon Age 2 also had some. So I say Clark like armor. I know Final Fantasy like 10-2, I think also got like some Mass Effect like armor.
First glance, I kinda prefer the art style for the first game. To be fair, this probably also has to do with the fact that I prefer just more straight up horror games as opposed to action horror games. But yeah, that's more so a matter of preference.
Something changed between the games.
A little bit janky this area was, yeah.
I know some people who hate this design, but it makes sense for what they were doing. High-tech space station, high-tech suits. It's also worth remembering that Isaac moved a lot clunkier in Dead Space 1. Like when he's leaning around, he just kind of drifts from side to side. But in 2, he can lean all over the place like he's a boxer. I think his suit got streamlined down so the new maneuverability and better controls would make sense. Even when you find a dinosaur of a suit later on, it's all like material, not plated. There's one major aspect that makes the suit in 1 look better. When I said just about everything was better technically, that meant there was an exception. The way light and reflections work on the suit in 1 seems to be better than 2. I have a suspicion that it was toned down for the environments. Dead Space 1 had a lot of hallways, and the larger environments are usually more barren. Dead Space 2 typically has a lot more going on. It's easy to forget that this is also a 360 and PS3 title. They had limited resources to work with. Electronic Arts also didn't want one version looking too much better than the others. So when it comes to the art style argument...
Gotcha. What did they say exactly? We aren't trying to create disparity in the experience that our gamers enjoy. We want to make sure everyone's having that same experience. I think this was also the case for the third Thief game. If I remember correctly, that was also on the Xbox. And because of the hardware limitations, they couldn't create as vast of a level as they used to do for the previous Thief games. So yeah, makes sense. Develop it according to what you have.
Electronic Arts also didn't want one version looking too much better than the others. So when it comes to the art style argument in the series, I think that's a part of it. It is a subtle difference, but I think it contributes to people not liking Isaac's sleek art style more than they would. It might seem silly to focus on, but there's a constant debate over this. At the very least, I'm glad they were doing something different. If you're really
God, I love that animation. I love that animation of like the suits and the helmet going over his head. I love Dead Space. Like Dead Space is like one of my favorite game franchises of all time. I've seen like both of the movies. I've read at least one book. I played like all the DLC. I do need to go back and with the remake and like get like the get all the upgrades and everything and get like the last of the marker pieces and get the alternative ending and then trying to beat that game on hardcore mode.
Itching to be a lumbering factory worker, they give you that option later on. The new stuff is unique from each other, and I think that's a plus. Isaac was an engineer in the first game. That's not his day job anymore. He's an exterminator now. Seeking out bulky work suits doesn't make sense to him in a practical sense, and it holds back his character development. If he has access to space police or military equipment, why wouldn't he use that? It's a way of showing escalation in the conflict.
Makes sense.
I've got to move on. I've spent 2 minutes talking about how lights look on spacesuits. The environments are just...
Hey, that's kind of what game reviewers do, right? So far, though, it does seem like what the producer wanted was achieved here. But given the current situation, yeah, there really is no reason to go back to the janky engineer suit that was kind of just hurriedly put together because of an unknown threat that we had no way of knowing. And now that we're armed with that knowledge, bring the heavy guns. Bring in the high-tech military-grade equipment. Everything that you can to kill these necromorphs. Actually, now that I think about it, I didn't ask this in the first review. Is it possible to destroy a marker? If you destroy the marker, what would happen? Would its influence...
They did destroy a marker at the end of Dead Space 1. You drop an asteroid on it.
Stop working on all the people around here and turning them into necromorphs? Or would something contained within it, some sort of pulsing energy or whatever, just get like released into the atmosphere or something like that and cause catastrophic destruction. I don't know how markers work yet, and we're gonna have to dive into the lore once we finish the series.
Just a flat-out win. I liked how the Ishimura looked utilitarian and practical, but there are so many areas in Dead Space 2 that just blow it out of the park. It's not all sleek future either. There are lots of industrial areas. The station has a purpose. My favorite area by far is the Church of Unitology. It's brilliant.
Oh,
It has a
God.
very clean, modern entrance. This is clearly to lure new converts in. The deeper you go, the more red flags there are. It was easy to forget that this was all in a space station. It's one of my favorite areas in a game, period. It's a medieval cathedral, and a tomb, and a cult indoctrination center, and it's all in space. It's a visual
cool.
feast. Like everything else in
The visuals here really do remind me of Thief, though. Just the much darker lighting, plus the religious context behind it.
Dead Space 1 and 2, it's been thought out. Here's where they perform funeral rites. There's the mechanism they use to collect and preserve all the bodies. Zero gravity means less effort to move them around, so it operates off that. Just don't look at the power bill. Here's where bodies get stored. It's an adventure. Otherworldly, yet familiar. There's tons to see. The game is always mixing it up. No backtracking like the first game. You're always heading somewhere new, and that's a great feeling of progression. Oh cool, a sail on a Dagoth air mask. Looking at the action side of the gameplay, the first thing I'll notice
Where's that mask from? I'm assuming Skyrim? Or maybe Oblivion.
compared to Dead Space 1 is that the aiming has changed. It uses a targeting reticle instead of laser pointers. I don't like it. Luckily you can switch back to classic aiming and there you go, you got your lasers back. There are a few on-rails sections you have to aim and this seems to offset it a little bit, but it wasn't big enough to be a problem. Speaking of those, there are a lot more set-piece sections compared to Dead Space 1. The developers wanted to have more of these in Dead Space 1, but they just didn't have the budget for it. Keep in mind, their goal was to have an ultra-polished version of Resident Evil 4. Some of them do have some quick-time events that feel pretty unnecessary, but they're fun, and they keep it fresh. All of the weapons from the first game
We've had those sections in Dead Space 1. It was always all about the spectacle, especially that last boss fight too. And I mean, if it works for another game, then why change it, right?
are back with some visual makeovers. A few weapons got their alternate fire modes reworked to be more useful. For example, my beloved pulse rifle now has a grenade launcher instead of whatever that was. So all the old weapons are back and they feel more useful than ever. 2 also introduces 4 new weapons. A rivet gun, a mine-laying detonator weapon, an electric javelin gun, and a sniper rifle. The new weapons feel very specialized. You can still beat this game using the plasma cutter. Using only one of these would be much harder. That being said, with the exception of the rivet gun, I found them all fun and complementary to the other weapons. The combat is smooth.
The javelin gun is probably like my favorite gun from Dead Space 2. I remember I would spend all the time trying to kill as many necromorphs, skewer them in the wall, and then electrocute them.
How to use that scream in every video, right? I personally see this as a must when it comes to action combat games like this. Having multiple different options to choose from given the current situation. There's just something about it that feels so satisfying.
Responsive and satisfying. The process of getting geared up has also undergone some changes. You still need to hunt around for schematics and power nodes. This time around though, the power node treasure rooms are much more important. A few have new suits and weapons, so they feel even more mandatory to explore than before. You still have to find a workbench when you want to upgrade your stuff. Getting more health is a much bigger investment.
And it's a good thing to have a reason for your player to explore around the map, actually providing useful and tangible things as opposed to just a bigger number go up.
You need to find or buy a dozen to get it to max. On the other hand, investing into weapons is a lot more rewarding. Along with more upgrades, some have special attack bonuses. Kinesis damage is a new upgrade and a welcome one at that. The act of finding the bench is easier now. The objective marker can now cycle through different objects of interest. I think the most significant change to the upgrade and loot system comes from combat. When an enemy dies, they won't drop stuff until their body has been broken apart. Unless you test Kinesis, this makes it easier for them to play dead.
Oh, come on.
The new stomp is great. My one issue...
You know what, Isaac? I feel you. I've been cursing up a storm too.
Is that there are some big fights. At some point, bodies will start to despawn, and sometimes they drop ammo, and sometimes they don't. The safest way to prevent this is to immediately start smashing their body up as soon as you kill them. I'm okay with this, but it could be tedious for some people. Speaking of tedious, the store has an issue, and it's...
That actually reminds me of like using a chainsaw in Doom in order to get ammo or armor. And I think it was the finishers that would give you health. For those of you who have played Dead Space 2, however, let me know what you guys thought of this particular...
It was fine. I never had too much problem with it. I had It was just making sure, you had enough ammo. There's that one scene near the very end of the game when you're on top of the drill.
Mechanic. In a way, I can see it being kind of satisfying, but it can get pretty boring as the game drags on.
It's not the layout, because that's much better. Let's take a look at the first store in the game.
Welcome to Microstore, CEC engineer Isaac Clarke. Updating inventory to see.
Did I win the lottery? A while back there was a lot of console exclusive suit and weapon DLC, but then someone data mined it. Then EA flipped out and said, okay, everyone on PC gets it for free, and they just unlocked all of it. This is on a fresh save, it ruins all the progression. So I had to buy all the free stuff off the store and then shove it in the inventory. If you don't do that, it all clutters up the store for the entire game. But it's slow. You can only move 3 weapons at a time. Moving all the suits means sitting through a fashion show for each one, and I'm not going to do that. If the suit costs money, it's one you're supposed to have. Just do that. Let's talk about the enemies. Old enemies look better and have some new abilities.
That's actually kind of funny. Oh no, they data mined all the content. Just give it to them. Was that the usual practice back in the day?
No.
There's nearly a dozen new monster types to fight, and I mean brand new, not reskins. There's a lot of room to experiment, and it's fun finding out what works best on which enemy. Some are mainly found in or exclusive to Zero Gravity. It's been completely reworked so you have freedom of movement instead of leapfrogging around. These are all welcome changes. To spice things up even more, they offer a new difficulty level right from the beginning. It can be a real challenge at times. There are a few parts that I'll probably never forget. I bet this elevator screwed up a lot of speedruns. Lower levels have more ammo, so if you just want a monster shooting gallery, that's viable too. There's something for everybody. And as far as over-the-shoulder shooters go, this might be one of the best, if not the best. So the action's great. What about the horror elements?
Off to the line. Station reverted. Manual operation only.
It shares some of the issues with the first game, like making the payoff to a tense moment be way too over the top. Let's look at the first scene in the game.
Did you have contact with this marker? It made you see things, didn't it? Things you didn't want to see. It spoke to me.
What did it say, Isaac? What did it say to you, Isaac? Isaac, can you hear me?
When I played this on release, I got shivers watching her crawl up on that desk. It's a really creepy image. Then her face started glowing and I was more confused than anything. They played it too hard. I might catch some flack for this, but...
It's hard for me to say, because I didn't really feel a whole lot watching that.
I had to rewatch that scene so many times. I beat this goddamn game on hardcore mode, and I still haven't beat it.
Than likely, because by this point I'm sort of desensitized. But yeah, I guess there is such a thing as going too far and too over the top, where it goes from being horrific to being kind of funny. I'm sure this is something a lot of directors for horror movies or games like this have to consider, because this threshold is definitely going to be different for everybody. Do they have any means to try and determine whether it's effective or not? Probably through player testing and stuff like that. Or is that even a thing that they consider? Do they just think, oh, this is the scary thing, so people should probably be scared by this? And then they just kind of wrap it up in a bow and send it off. Also, a lot of you guys informed me that while Mandalore was trolling at the end of the video last time, the chapters do spell out Nicole is dead. And apparently it's the marker that is using Nicole's image. I did ask, like, why Isaac wasn't experiencing any of the effects of the marker. And
he was.
Apparently the entire game you kind of are. And it's through the form of Nicole here. So what I'm assuming is happening here is it's just...
But unfortunately, in the remake, they took away the chanting. The Dead Space chanting of the marker.
Residual, or there might be another marker here, which is probably what is causing all the necromorphs to act up all again.
I think Dead Space 2 is a much scarier game. It had its moments, but it relied on the same stuff too often. The atmosphere was creepier at all times, but the delivery was weaker. I generally felt a little tense throughout the whole game. This is hard to put into words, so I made this MS Paint graph. This is based off my first Dead Space 1 playthrough. It's generally tenser throughout the whole game, but the scenery doesn't change much. It does deliver from time to time. Here's my Dead Space 2 chart. There are a lot of action set pieces and fights, so it's a lot less tense overall. But when it wants to ramp it up, it ramps it up. I know this is all subjective, but I'll tell you why I think this way. When you got to the tram in Dead Space 1, that was it. Chapter complete, next level. The tram was a safe place. You don't get loading screens like that in 2. I mean, elevators were hidden loading screens, but those aren't safe either now. You can get jumped on anywhere, at any time. This is a subtle effect, but you'll start noticing it more when the game gets quiet. Enemies don't only burst at events. It might even be different on a second play. The use of more open space is also something that unnerves me. I did a lot of camping back in grade school, and I had some unpleasant encounters with animals at night, so this gets me a little paranoid. It's been a few years since I played this, so when I replayed one chapter, I was sweating in my chair. There's so little light at times that your helmet lights it up. You're hearing weird noises and voices, and things are falling over. I was sucked right into all of it. I was more nervous in this one chapter than all of Dead Space 1 in total. It's a fantastic section. You have Event Horizon like nightmare visions throughout the game, and Nicole will torment you as well, but these didn't really get to me. A big problem is that it's hard to actually understand what she's saying at times.
Okay. It's good to know that while we have increased the action side of things and the spectacle side of things, we haven't forgotten that this is, at its core.
Yeah, Dead Space 3 has some decent horror as well, but we're just mostly stuck with the co-op. Like, you have to have a co-op partner, and you got to be the second character too. You got to be John Carver and Isaac Clarke. See more of the horror stuff. But the horror stuff when it comes to what should we call it? Dead Space Awakening, that shit was really good. Really good as fuck, man.
For a horror game. I do feel like most horror games, or well, most good horror games at least, do somewhat follow this pattern, where you're experiencing extreme moments of tension, but there's also going to be those moments of reprieve. Of course, the downtime can't be too lax, but if you have like this high amount of tension for the entire playthrough, I think that's mostly just going to exhaust the viewer, the player. This is probably different for everybody, but I feel as if they kept the tension up way too high, then you might reach a point where you've kind of just stopped caring about it. Or maybe you get desensitized to it, or you're just like, yep, I'm gonna close the game now. There's probably a unique response depending on the person.
Last Isaac saw of her was a video message, so they thought it would make sense to put a static filter over her voice. That's a good idea, but they went too heavy on it. My voice level was the highest of all the sound effects. She doesn't just talk during the quiet moments either.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're saying.
I can't reminisce right now. Back to the good, there's one enemy type that genuinely unnerves me.
Look behind you. The frick?
Oh my god. That is so awful.
Where is it coming from? Oh!
God, the way they peek out at you. They're always moving as a team to disorient you too.
Oh, shit.
It's a distraction, I don't want to look at him. Oh man, even looking at that in post bothered me. What a cool enemy. Looking around...
That is really cool. This kind of makes me think of, like, the raptors in Jurassic Park.
That's what they are called, the raptors.
Honestly, it might have been the inspiration for these enemies, too.
You'll know when you're in their part of town. They're unnerving, fast, and they'll kill you quick. And they make for a great challenge. Ugh. The last thing to talk about is the story, and without getting to spoilers, it's pretty good. Making Isaac a voice protagonist was the right direction to go in. What makes him great as a character is that he's scared, but he's doing everything anyways. That's true bravery, kids.
We can both get out of here. Just cut me out of this straitjacket.
No one's getting out of here alive.
Don't do it.
You're a strange man, Isaac.
Will you help me?
We're about to suffocate, so I think I'm better.
Okay.
Power. Without it, we have no air and no train. Sprawl's gotta have backup batteries somewhere.
In both dialogue and gameplay, Isaac is more of a systems engineer than he was in the first. He jury-rigs stuff to help him with his goals. He comes up with the plans that require technical knowledge. Morons are calling him for help all the time. Cute girls laugh when he tells them about his job.
You?
Engineer.
Nerd. Figures.
Very good character.
Dang, dude. I mean, she do be kind of cute, though. I think for a game like this, it makes sense, though, to have him be voiced and to really expand upon his character, which was something I was hoping they were going to do at the end of the Dead Space 1 review, because I want to know more about this guy. He seems interesting, but he didn't really have a whole lot to do in the first game. Well, except kill Necromorphs, of course. And I appreciate that the character is...
And I need to look it up, like... Space. There's something I want to know more about. Oh yeah. He had blue eyes and now they're hazel. Oh my god, he looks so old. He looks. Oh god, he looks like a generic guy. And then he looks so much better in Dead Space 2. And then he looks alright in Dead Space 3. And then this one, Jesus fucking Christ. He looks so goddamn different. Hmm. I don't know, dude. Hmm. Let's see. They mentioned her, but like, do they have like the sources, logs, log backup request, last will and testament? Oh, what? Danny. Oh my god, I remember him. Alright,
Isn't some steely badass who's like gone through the war, seen some shit, even though he's probably seen more horrific things than anybody should ever see in their life. But bro is scared. And we get that. We understand that. We can empathize with that. It's a lot easier to understand than the stoic badass is. Although, of course, from here we can build upon that. Like, in the next game, maybe he's much more experienced. He isn't shaken as badly by these things. And I mean, I don't think it's really possible to make an intriguing character who doesn't have a few flaws in them. Bro is meant to be an engineer, and I think his voice and a lot of his actions fit with that background.
Character traits. Very good. Unfortunately, the story feels a bit less complete than Dead Space 1. 1 answered a lot of the questions the story brought up, but left a few things open-ended, so you felt satisfied but still had some mysteries to ponder over. Dead Space 2 raises a lot more questions, but answers very few of them. If you don't want spoilers, go to here.
We are here for the spoilers.
You're still here? Man, that guy who doesn't want spoilers is in for such a rude awakening in Dead Space 3. I forgot
no.
Awakening was the name of that DLC when I said that. Let's move on.
What?
It turns out survivors of marker incidents get afflicted with some kind of dementia. Another survivor, Nolan Strauss, has been hit with it a little harder. Most of what he says sounds like nonsense, but there's a bit of method to his madness.
Strauss, what are you doing? You have to face her for me. Tell her I need.
That's a risky move, Isaac. The director of the station really wants you dead. He's kind of a bland villain, and you need to hunt around for text or audio logs to really understand his motivations and what's his deal. It could be worse. It turns out marker madness doesn't affect people the same. It fills their head with marks and symbols no matter what, but if you're a smart boy, you can interpret the symbols as blueprints for a marker. That's almost a direct quote.
Dementia and codes and blueprints are all caused by the same signal from the marker. It's the people that are different. Smart people see codes and blueprints, but to everyone else it's just noise.
Are you smart enough to build a marker? So tapping...
So wait, are you saying that Smart Boy Isaac isn't a necromorph because he's smart?
No. He's smart. He's smart enough to understand the marker code and build a marker. And like, I don't know. And I don't know if this is a black marker. This looks like, the only black marker we know of is on Earth. And all the other markers we've made are all artificial, red markers, man-made.
His brain is big.
Into Isaac's brain, they built a theater bucket popcorn-sized marker. It's been established the government knows how dangerous these things are, so why would they do that? They put that answer into a readable log you can miss. The marker puts out a ton of energy. This is a world where people are tearing apart planets to survive, so that makes sense. I don't think it's ready for consumer versions yet. Along the way,
Okay. It's outputting a whole lot of energy. We're running out of resources. We need to use this, even though it is extremely dangerous and turns people into necromorphs. This sounds oddly familiar. Man, I found this cool and rad energy. Cool, where does it come from? From hell. Yeah, we can totally use that. Nothing's gonna go wrong. It is scary though, with how limited resources can be. And I guess it just goes to show that most of mankind is concerned about this issue. Or else, why would it be the main plot point for so many of these sci-fi stories?
Isaac linked up with a survivor named Ellie. She babysits Strauss while Isaac is away, until he puts her eye out because he's convinced it'll help stop the marker. He's always muttering something about steps. Ghost Nicole stops tormenting you and then says something about steps as well. Where are they going with this? The Nicole plotline is weak because we don't really know anything about Nicole. She was Isaac's girlfriend, so it makes sense for him to be invested. But as a player, it's hard to get into. It's hard to feel something for a character in a relationship you know nothing about. The first marker was reverse engineered to contain necromorphs. I guess they did such a good job that even the hallucinations are going along with that program. She guides Isaac into returning the marker.
What are you saying?
They didn't do those touch-ups on this marker. She leads you into unleashing the necromorphs in the government center, and as it turns out, the steps do go somewhere.
What are they doing?
They're all coming to the marker.
It's all those bodies you let in here. It's triggering a convergence event. But we never...
You need subtitles on.
Uh-oh.
What it was made to do. Isaac, you have to make us whole.
What the hell is going on?
Oh. You have to make us whole again? Oh man, I've seen so many of those comments under the first video. Yeah, what is this about? Is this some sort of collective consciousness thing? Well, I mean, I think the necromorphs kind of are that, and they're all being controlled by the marker. But is their whole goal to also have humanity, the entirety of humanity, join that as well?
Yes, they want all of not as humankind, but all sentient species and organisms join them. They pretty much will consume all.
Something similar to like the little worm noodle things in System Shock.
Step 2. The screws go tight.
And then the eyes.
Cross my heart and hope to die. Stick a needle in my eye.
Oh god, I gotta be careful. I know the machine unlocked or extracted some kind of marker information block from his brain, but to this day I don't know exactly what happened. I suspect now that his brain had the blueprints for something, but wouldn't the marker get that anyway by absorbing him? Either way, the marker needs it to happen, but this also helps Isaac stop it. Nicole then gives
Okay. Some sort of like schematics from his brain because he's a smart boy. And that's why Crazy Dude from before took out the girl's eye. It was foreshadowing for us doing this. And I'm sure there's probably a gruesome death scene if you miss by a little bit.
Isaac a Jimmy Neutron brain blast and he fights her inside his head. This might sound silly, but the best line in the series is in here.
God damn it, I trusted you! Fuck you! And fuck your marker!
It's not a very good boss fight. Nicole just kind of lumbers around while a reskinned enemy chases after you. The hive mind was also a pretty simple shoot the big glowing things, but at least it was a spectacle. Everything built up to this giant monster and you knew what was going on. The fight in Dead Space 2 isn't literal and it's hard to tell exactly what's happening, but when you do beat it, the ending is worth it. It's a roller coaster that goes all over the place. There's a fun little callback to the first game and then it's over. Isaac developed as a character by letting go of Nicole.
Yeah. He half expects Nicole to jump out. But no, it's our girl over here. I guess you have a new GF?
Good character stuff. At the end, I still had no idea what the marker was doing. This was clearly made with a sequel in mind. Unitologists think that convergence will unite mankind. Wonder what that means. It's a story carried by its moments, but the beats from Alien are really apparent. People on a planet find a weird alien thing that does something dangerous. They bring it onto their ship, it starts killing people off. A working person needs to save the day. One of the crew members is a traitor sent to recover the thing. Traitor dies, hero defeats thing. Now let's do Dead Space 2 and Aliens. This time the story is more action-focused. The hero is recovered by authorities and probed about the incident. They're plagued by nightmares and visions from it. The scale of destruction is increased. The hero is given more responsibilities and takes more action to grow as a character. Ripley was absent for the death of her daughter, Isaac was absent for the death of Nicole. Ripley protects a surrogate daughter, Isaac protects a surrogate girlfriend, both end with the complete destruction
surrogate
of the threat.
girlfriend? Is that even a term we could use? I mean, regardless of that, you can see the easy comparisons being made here.
Time the hero saved others and completed their arc. Both have a disappointing sequel.
Oh,
I could compare all day, but
no.
ultimately this formula works. But what happens after you beat the game? You unlock new suits for New Game Plus, and you unlock Hardcore mode. It's harder than Zealot, and you can only save 3 times. So what happens when you beat Hardcore mode? You unlock the Foam Finger. Real space, real terror, real foam.
Worth. Bang.
Something like this is rare to see these days. Usually it's sold for $2.99, because everything's gone wrong. There used to be a multiplayer mode that was like Left 4 Dead Versus, but it's pretty dead now. Is that kid arguing with his dad? Well, it's somewhat alive and everyone has their mic open. That's a very trusting community. It's a very dedicated role-playing community too, because judged on their connections, I think their computers are actually set up somewhere near Saturn. I'd stick with the single player. Dead Space 2 was wildly successful. It doubled the sales of Dead Space 1, selling around 4 million copies near launch. Unfortunately, that wasn't successful enough. As you may know, Visceral Games is now shut down. Some developers have been shedding light on the situation. Budget including marketing was
they got shut down out to Dead Space 3 and also Battlefield Hardline. They never got a chance to make the remake or a Dead Space 4.
It's roughly around 120 million. Developers have tiptoed around saying if it was profitable or not. If you think about the cost of distribution, tax, cuts going to online platforms, and other factors like that, it might not have made a profit. The cost of authentic artisan moms is no laughing matter. This failure to meet expectations would lead to some big changes in Dead Space 3. I'll be talking about that very soon, but not the
Oh god. Okay, I have a really bad feeling about this one. We already talked about
Let's see. Let's see.
Games is now shut down.
Hey, I have a really bad feeling about this one. We already talked about one of the DLCs. Is there gonna be a lot more of that? And there's likely gonna be a massive shift in direction because EA probably thought, oh, well, this didn't work. Time to do something completely different. It sucks to see, but there's just so many good game studios, so many amazing people working on these projects that just get shut down. But I guess it's just good business.
The next video. I'm upgrading some computer parts to make video editing less of a hassle, so I'm gonna have a bit of an intermission video between things. I'm pushing
Nice.
Halloween into November, and no one can stop me. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll be discussing the dangers of Polish forests. Thanks for watching, and happy Halloween.
My body's blocking it, but special thanks to Visceral Games. They did good work, it wasn't their fault. Yeah. Looking Glass Studio too. As well as the studio behind Hi-Fi Rush. I think they were Tango Games. Just make a really, really good game and get screwed over for no reason. Or, well, in the case of Visceral and Looking Glass Studio, their games didn't sell as well as they probably thought they would.
Let's see. Interesting. Dead Space 2. Yeah, Dead Space 2 advertised it was early 2010s, where companies went for shock value and internet store controversy. They also did with Dante's Inferno. Hell awaits you. Or Welcome to Hell. Or Isaac ended up on the sprawl. There's an app called Aftermath that explains it. Yeah. For the marker, it's a mix of both with the new marker on the sprawl and doing PTSD gained from the kind of more. I never played Morrowind. I played Oblivion. The Brother Moons have awakened. Oh, I cannot wait for when people find out about that shit. I think this is the only game I think it's like the only game franchise I know of. Like in Dead Space 1, you fight like the evil test tube babies. And Dead Space 2, you fight school children and exploding babies, necromorph babies. And Dead Space 3, it was all of them were adults, but they had that skinny screamer guys are really scary. They killed him. Let me see what I'm spelling that right. Surgery oncology. Is it an anime prequel for? Space after. That the. Oh yeah, I see it. Anime movie. Anime. This. Yeah, I think the first one was Dead Space Downfall, which was really good. Dead Space Aftermath sucks because like the fucking art style kept changing. And the pain in the fucking ass. Corruption. Okay. Slasher, lurker, brute, rapper. Peter. Yeah, I remember those things. Hmm.
despite being really, really good. Honestly, I wasn't too sure how I felt about the second game, but as time went on and we learned more details about it and saw the whole picture, I think this is a pretty significant upgrade to the first one. The big change to Isaac's character and having him develop over the course of the game, I think is something we can universally agree was a great decision. I get really invested in video games with characters that I like and care about. So while I'm experiencing the game through this review, I can only imagine how it would feel like if I was playing the game sometime near release and I cared a lot about the first game. I learned more about Isaac in this one, and now I feel.
Let's see. That was a week ago. Okay. That's obviously I've seen some of these. That's the thing we mastered. That's an awesome fucking thumbnail, I guess. Oh god, Fear. Fear's so good, man. Maybe I should react to that. Maybe. Hmm. Fix the sound. I need to go back and read this. I just remember Leon Sky. Can't remember his other friends. Those two. I think his name's Fred. Whoops. Hold on. Ah, damn it, hell, whatever. There you go. What this is. Very cute. Ah, man. Who doesn't love getting tan? Let's check this out. This kid's up. This kid's not ordering stuff. Man. All heroes that easy. Like, oh man, let me just go to my trade person's house and drop off their stuff. Oh man. What this one's about. This seems interesting.
And now you got me thinking, I wish I could be a girl in that way. You wish I could be your girlfriend, boyfriend. Just a little of me in a big, big world. Ow, ow. Just a little of me in a big world. I wish I were a girl.
Alright, and let's see what else is. That was a nice video. Oh yeah. This one's also good too. I know this comic. I've seen it.
Man, spring break was crazy. I think I slept with like 9 different girls.
Oh, that's funny, because I slept with like 10 girls during break.
No, did I say 9? I meant to say 11.
Oh, did I say 10? I meant to say 30.
Why did you just get a Grindr ping?
Why'd you recognize it?
Kaizen Neko. Kaizen. Oh wait, yeah, Kaizen Neko. Yep. He was from he did the Dragon Ball Z bridge shit, right? Look, or like me, A and B. Oh, yeah.
Tell me how you feel about me. Do you like a like me? Tell me what you really feel. Do you like me?
God, the animation. This fucking animation is so good on this little kitty cat. Oh my god. I don't know why. Let's see. There's gotta be some more stuff I want. Let's see. Any furry memes that might be good. Nothing new. Oh, dang it. Wiki. How's streaming going? About 2 hours. Yeah. Hmm. Let's do nothing good else. Let's see this.
So many shades of gray. Oh, 어떻게 아직도 모를 수 있어? Oh.
I mean, his animation's already really good, and the song's great too.
Could easily fades away.
I love the bad guys.
아무런 나를 좋아하지 마. Because I'm a villain. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해. 아주 못돼 먹은 작은 악마 같은 나인 걸 몰라. You're a villain. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해. 미처 몰랐던 악마가 아니야. 내 숨 쉬고 있어. I'm killing someone. Maybe you're killing someone. Maybe I'm killing you. Maybe you're killing me. Maybe we all pretend to be the heroes on the good side. But what if we're the villains on the other?
God, that's so good.
거라 생각해. 그냥 villain. 왜 아닐 거라 생각해. 미처 몰랐던 악마가 아니야. 내 숨 쉬고 있어. I'm killing someone. Maybe you're killing someone. Maybe I'm killing you. Maybe you're killing me. Maybe we all pretend to be the heroes on the good side. Maybe you're killing someone. Maybe I'm killing.
I don't know if those supposed to be like piercings or whatever, maybe like the freckles or something like that, but they kind of disappear right around here. See, they're gone now. Alright, that's another good piece of furry animation. Let's Werewolf Wire. Ooh, no, wait, I love his facial hair. His little beard here, and then he has a little mustache right here. Very cute and adorable. Oh, hey, I recognize that guy. Let's see. Yeah, Carablops on Twitter. Yeah, I recognize him. Recognize it. Like, Let's see. Femboy Fox has 135 squat. Let's see. Oh, maybe that might be the next one. Now, I got stream now. Been going on for a very long time. It was nice to see Dead Space again. See some cute furry animations. Let's see. See, maybe I'll raid someone else. It looks like that person's leaving. So what else could I? Let's see. Is there another person I want to raid? All right, I'll go raid him. Do something different. Maybe I'll raid some other people. Maybe that might help out. Well, that was a kind of fun, interesting stream. Just something different. Oh, well, not really different, but well, just I'm not streaming a game. I just feel like streaming something else, something. This. Just have some fun. Hopefully, others are enjoying themselves and having fun as well. And it just makes things, much nicer and easier. And hopefully, everyone that's following me here and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and Blue Sky are having a fun time as well. So thank you guys so much and goodbye.